Hello from El Salvador. This is the first time we are visiting this country, so there are a lot of new things to discover. So our first impressions in this video. Keep watching. Take my first bite of pupusas.
Hola, Namaste.
This is Pubal.
This is Sindranil and we are Paradise Catchers.
We are an Indian couple living in Costa Rica, and we bring to you stories about traveling and digital nomad life in Latin America.
Bienvenidos.
El Salvador. We arrived at San Salvador airport last night. It was a short flight from San Jose, Costa Rica. It took about 1 hour 15 minutes to reach San Salvador. Okay.
El Salvador.
Are you ready?
Yes, hasta luego Costa Rica.
The airport here it's quite nice, but the most interesting thing was that everyone at the airport was so friendly. The immigration officers, the police, the officials at the customs, everyone was so friendly. In fact, we had a brief interaction with the police, and when they learned that we are from India, one of them greeted us Namaste, and the other one asked Indranil, "Tumhara naam kya hai?" At San Salvador airport. We absolutely did not anticipate that. And then the immigration officer was so friendly. Living in Costa Rica and traveling in different parts of Latin America, we already have a very high benchmark of friendliness of people and hospitality. So we are happy to report that our first impression of El Salvador is that it definitely met that benchmark, or I would say even surpassed that benchmark.
Well, our first breakfast at El Zonte. Typical Salvadorian breakfast with tortillas, then fried bananas, scrambled eggs with veggies, mashed beans, frijoles, queso, cheese, and sour cream, and with the Salvadorian cafe.
But we didn't do much after arriving, because although the flight was short, about 1 hour 15 minutes, from the airport to reach El Zonte it took us about 1.5 hours. It was already quite dark, so we didn't do much. So we just went down the street to a pupus area, and we tried the traditional food of El Salvador, that is pupusas. And we are at a pupus area now. We are going to have dinner with pupusas, which are traditional food of El Salvador. Now the pupusas are ready. I am going to take my first bite of pupusas. It's very hot though. This pupusas can have different fillings. This one has jalapenos, so it's going to be picante, hot. Okay. Cheesy, tasty, good. So we are in El Zonte now. That is a dustbin on the side of the road. Why am I showing you a dustbin? Can you see the sign? B? That is for Bitcoin. It's a legal tender in El Salvador. And El Zonte was one of the first places where Bitcoin was introduced as a legal tender. So El Zonte is popularly known as the Bitcoin beach. Here's the interesting part. Come. This is a very small shop where you can see, but here you can pay for your dinner with this Bitcoin. Yes, you are in the Bitcoin beach now.
Yes.
So Indranil is going to try surfing today. He's taking a lesson, his first ever lesson in surfing near El Zonte. It's another beach though. It's called El Palmarcito. And I have tagged along with him as his photographer. Hair all tied up. Why?
Sophie.
Sir.
It was awesome riding the waves for the first time. It was quite something for me, riding a few waves, small waves although. And here is Papo, my instructor.
We are at the El Zonte beach again. Now looks like it's a lower tide compared to the morning. There were big waves even here in the morning. So we spent some time in the afternoon working on the blog and the YouTube videos. Now we are here. Hopefully we get to see some dramatic colors on the sky.
The cliff above the cave, probably the best view of the sunset. Welcome to El Tunco. We are on the main street of El Tunco. And we just came down from the Tamanik waterfall. We should chill at the beach after the hike, so we thought that we'll come down to El Tunco. It looks impressive, the beach town. We are walking on the main street.
There are many restaurants. Michel's restaurant is.
This is the El Tunco beach, especially known for surfing. And it's lined with lots of restaurants. So it's really cool that if you can just want to grab a beer and some food while watching the sunset.